What's up, everybody? It's Giovanni here. I wanted to come really quick with some information or with just the thoughts on what Baltimore City Council is really working on. Do they really care for the citizens? Because there's a lot of talk about what our politicians are doing. And tonight, if you're in the Baltimore area in about an hour, we'll be at Simmons Memorial on 601 Cumberland Avenue. From people from West Baltimore will be talking about, what we can do to spark change within Baltimore City. But today I wanted to just really quick show a few things that, Baltimore City Council has been working on or has at least adopted thus far this year. And the real question is, who have our elected officials been working for? Has it been the people or has it been something else? Because there's a few pieces of legislation that really caught my attention. So I'm going to share our screen. So you see here, I'm on the Baltimore Legistar page, which keeps track of resolutions and ordinance that the city council has passed. These are the main ones that have been adopted, or all the ones allegedly that have been adopted this year. And if you go through this, and I encourage everyone to really start understanding how city government works. Our government is set up through a city charter. The city charter can be found on Baltimore City's webpage, or you can just look up Baltimore City Charter, and you'll be able to find that document. But that's, essentially what our city council goes to update, change, or in our city code and ordinances. That's what the resolutions and the legislation that gets passed goes to update or change or amend or add or things like that. But there are several resolutions that have gone through. Now, we know the state of affairs in Baltimore City. People are leaving. Crime is, increased. Trash collection is still, an issue, or trash within the streets rather is still an issue. Our school system and those type of things. And there is power within the city council to help get a lot of these things done or improve a lot of these aspects of life. And but let's look and see what resolutions have actually been adopted so far. Now, the thing is, a lot of these are for, for more information. So the city council is doing a lot of hearings, a lot of requests for information. So our city council is getting tons and tons of information. Now, how much of it is turning to action is still a bit questionable. But there are a few things here that I do want to look at. We have a bunch of information, hearings, license changes, for commercial licenses or Maryland Code licenses, recognition. We recognize February as Career Technical Education Month. Information. The first Monday in March is now COVID Victims and Survivors Memorial Day. But let's look at two things. There's two things here. This one right here. We want to ban contracts with Georgia due to voter suppression. So at this point, we're saying we want to ban any contracts or not essentially do business with the state of Georgia or businesses based in Georgia. So we're banning elected officials, and we're banning elected official travel to Georgia as well. So this is a real city council resolution that was adopted on April 5th that bans city travel or bans the Board of Estimates from approving travel to the state of Georgia. I want you to think about that. This is another U.S. State or any city and town within that state, any official business from a city employee to Georgia is banned. Now, I know we had some issues with some politicians in travel recently. There's been pushback on how much say city council can have in travel. There was recently some legislation passed for that. However, what we're saying now is, as a city, we're saying our elected officials or our public servants can't travel to Georgia for for work based on their voting laws. All right. So how does that help Baltimore? I can't see. If somebody can explain to me how it helps, let me know in the comments. Please just tell me. But let me know how that helps. But here's another one. Again, the main issues in Baltimore: the crime, economic opportunities. They're few and far between, or only, only for the certain select few that the city wants to do business with the city. There's also, the trash pickup, the cleanup in our streets and our education system. Like those are our main issues. Jobs. Also, if we look at our roads, like we're still not being paved, still bumpy and rough and all that stuff. There's issues that need to be fixed within Baltimore City that the council has the power to direct. Now let's look at this other thing. There's this request for federal action. We want to end the embargo against Cuba. This is from Baltimore City Council is requesting the federal government to end the embargo or end the stop on trade between the U.S. and Cuba. Again, we have crime, we have economic opportunities that need to that our local residents can really take part in, but our council is focusing on essentially stuff in other countries, stuff in other states. And let's look at this too, right? So request to end the federal ban. And I kind of concerned about how this resolution gets passed when there's nothing recorded on who said yes, who said no. Now, according to our city charter here, passage of ordinance and resolutions. Every legislative act in City Hall shall be ordinance or resolution, and no ordinance or resolution shall be passed by the City Council except by a majority vote of its members. And on its final passage, the vote shall be taken in yeas and nays, and the names of members voting or against, for or against, the same shall be entered on the journal. Now, what do we have here? Where is it? Normally that result would be here. This was introduced and adopted at the same meeting. So it was introduced by Council Vice President, Ms. Middleton. And here's what it says. So they want to urge Congress and the President to immediately end all aspects of the U.S. economic, commercial, and financial embargo against Cuba. Again, where are we bringing this to Baltimore City? Baltimore has the highest tax rate in the state of Maryland. Baltimore has the highest crime rate, higher than some of these, higher than some of the Latin American countries. People are leaving the city. Grocery stores and restaurants and businesses are forcing to close their doors early to protect their workers and their patrons. But our council is concerned about Georgia voting laws and the embargo against Cuba. So I'm asking again, who is our city council working for? Is it working for you? Or is it working for somebody else? I'll let you make that decision. If you haven't already, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to Metro Conservative Media. If you're in the West Baltimore area tonight, in about 45 minutes or about 50 minutes, come to 601 Cumberland Avenue in Baltimore at Simmons Memorial Baptist Church. We're going to be having a town hall, and we want to hear from the citizens because we have to get this right in Baltimore City. Our public officials are not public officials. They're public servants. Let's start calling them that. Peace out.